Alright guys, come along with me and let's take a journey to Gnome Spine on the brand new 25 KTM 300 XC. Bit of a shakedown for this bike. I've put a few hours on it, but it's bone stock. And I share some thoughts with you on it.
This thing just feels so nice.
So we've entered the valley leading to Gnome Spine, and I'll be blunt with you, this is the freest revving KTM 300 ever. It revs like the 250s. It's actually the first time this displacement lives up to the hype. It's a really cool engine, super clean all the way through. But yeah, if it's connected to your right wrist, not quite the same as a 4-stroke, but way better than the old ones, and it has way more jam than the TPIs. But it can lead to problems, like it revs so quickly that it can be difficult to maintain traction. But as soon as you start cluing in that it's directly linked to your right wrist, it actually works really, really well. I know guys have had issues with first gear appearing to be too low in the gearing. Watch this. Yeah. Like a boss. So people, what happens is that you can go through first gear so fast because it revs so freely. But people think that first gear is useless, but what it is that when you're aggressive, you go through the gears fast, and it doesn't matter what gear it is, it's just most noticeable in first. You have to roll on the throttle gently, and as soon as you do that, the gearbox feels awesome. And if you want to be aggressive, have at her. It'll do whatever you want. Right here I'm just puttering sort of on the low end of the power, and it'll just, this is nicely chugging in first, and I can maintain whatever traction I want. It took me a couple hours to figure out how directly linked it was. It's just so clean and consistent. It's remarkable, actually. I really have enjoyed it, which is saying a lot for 300. Part of that lively feel in the engine makes the whole bike feel lighter. It feels less like a land arc than previous 300s. Here we are. We have finally entered the bottom of the climb to Gnome Spine. I didn't get nearly enough RPM. I was trying to do the start of it in second. And I don't know what it is. Wasn't very aggressive on this day. Watch how it chugs. Right now I had accidentally hit the button and it's in the white setting, the calm setting. Most of the time I've ridden it in the green. Both are great. think you'd have to be a way better rider than me to practically use the difference. So the other great thing about this bike is the suspension. I know everybody's going to say, oh, the front fork, it's now spring and blah, 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 blah. In practice, the front fork works just like the air fork works. Feels, however, this fork feels really dead to start with. Nick and I were struggling a bit on this day.
Can I shoot straight up there, Nick? I think so. How are you feeling?
That fucking tree on the other side got me. I can turn around there?
Yeah, I just did.
So this is a test of the reason why I used to hate 300s. Kind of a side hill where you have to be adding power in. And the TPIs were mild enough that it would work for me. Right here, nice, gentle throttle, and I could control the side hill traction, which I always had difficulties on in the carbureted ones. You can see it's quite a steep hill. But on this one, as soon as I got used to the free revving nature of it, you put your wrist in one position and it is so consistent. It just gives you exactly what you're asking for. Again, I'm no Tristan Hart, but I managed to get up these hills in one way.
Better than I did. Hang on. Whew.
Now we missed a bit of masterful riding by Nick because of my arm.
It's nice.
So I'm afraid I don't have any fast footage for you on this thing today because you can see my left wrist has a thick brace on it. I really buggered it up a couple weeks ago. Hit the ground very hard. Few x-rays. New helmet. Blah blah blah.
while back there, a few kilometers ago. I went over log and dropped my front into a hole. Jarred my wrist again. Cried for a little bit. They weren't tears of joy either. Hey, FXR makes great gloves. I think I need a new pair.
So I had a massive get off a couple weeks ago. Lots of x-rays, destroyed FXR helmet. Never lost consciousness though, but helmet did its job. Anyways, I'm really sore.
This is called Gnome Spine, simply because the first time I came up here, I was with a buddy of mine that rides like a garden gnome, and it still does. Caught my tack. I don't think I'm supposed to go down here. Man, I love the spike in that stuff. Whoa! Not quite far enough.
Let's see, on this hill, I'm way too sloppy. In first, and I can't maintain traction with the body position. I keep revving through there. It goes through the RPM so fast. Nick did an awesome job. Jake did an awesome job. Yeah, it's steep. This next little moments or two, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like these turn downs. And especially down to from a dead stop. I'm so cautious now. Maybe it's just because I'm old. Like always, wish I had done that the first time. So I didn't finish my thoughts on the suspension. The fork works awesome. If anything, it has a little more plushness than the air fork, especially through the mid part of the stroke. It feels very controlled on fast stuff and slow stuff. The big difference on this bike for me, suspension-wise, is the rear. On my last 300, which was in 22, I had a few issues coming out of corners when you're on a little bit of gas and there's roots or rocks. It would seem like as soon as the rear hit any kind of ledge, it just lost its mind, particularly under drive. Eventually I got it semi-sorted. This one's great. Like over that. So this is just the top of 737. It keeps going forever. I've only cut a few clips for you to see how cool a hill it is. You got the straight out one, and then it just climbs up through the trees forever. Or sorry, it starts with a more of a straight shot, and then it just climbs through the trees forever. Little logs strewing in everywhere. It's one of my favorite hills. This is just a no-brainer. All in all, KTM built probably the first 300 that actually lives up to the hype. It's just a fun bike. Doesn't feel like a land arc. Suspension's great. The engine is amazing. Like, it's so clean. It's almost like brand new take on the two-stroke. It's just a ton of fun. Bye now. Be kind to each other. Have fun.